Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Monday afternoon. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Chosen one, you're slipping, you're slipping, you're slipping. You know they're lying, you know they're lying, you know they're lying. So your girl is cooking some turkey wings, right? But I got nudged, prompted to jump on really quickly to share this. Really quickly, I want to thank you guys for getting the likes up. Like I got 30 new subscribers in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So thank you guys. I've seen you guys liking the recordings, and I'm so grateful. I get you guys got tired of hearing my mouth. So thank you. To my men, I have so many men who email me in regards to being able to relate to my recordings because I truly am a non-biased woman, honestly. Could you guys please comment? Like, seriously, let the world know that my channel is for men and women. Thank you in advance. Uh, Thank you to those of you who already do. So let's speak really quickly, guys. Let's start with the foundation. As a chosen one, God have instilled discernment in you, like ever since you can remember. You may have not been able to articulate it as discernment, but you know that something in your spirit was always different, right? There was something in you that either your spirit felt at peace, and this can be around a person or an environment, especially environments. You can walk in an environment where there's 500 people and none of them have discernment. They're just doing their own thing, just normal. You walk in that room, if something, your spirit is so disturbed because there's different kind of energies all over there. Something is spiritually off. We are very, very spiritually sensitive. Many of us are empaths. So we know that we know that we know when we feel safe in our spirit. And then we know that we know that no matter what someone says with their mouth, something is off. And if you're honest, your discernment have saved you from a lot of betrayal if, all caps, if you followed the conviction of the Holy Spirit, even though you couldn't articulate that at the time. But if you made your head hard and went against that feeling like, something ain't right. And a lot of the times it don't even have to be like a very hard, because with some people you meet, like there's people who I can run into in the grocery store and instantly there's a very, very heavy, witchy feel, like it's a very dark, demonic feel, right? It doesn't even have to always be that. Sometimes it's very subtle, but your spirit just won't settle. There's no peace and clarity in your spirit. And you know what that feels like because you've been around people that gives you that peace and clarity in your spirit. So much so that it's hard to describe in words because it's a spiritual feel. Doesn't mean the person is perfect, if you will, right? But their spirit aligns with yours. Spirits recognize spirits. So God gave you that very early on, right? For your benefit, because the way he calls and uses us to help others, we have to have that, right? We have to have that. So he gave it to us for a reason. But recently, you've been slipping. You learned from the couple of times you've gotten burned in the past. So you knew not to play with that, something isn't right feeling. But the enemy caught you when you was down. The enemy caught you at your lowest moment. That could have been your latest attack. Let it be you went through a horrible divorce, bad breakup, lost a job, whatever. He caught you at your most vulnerable moment. And then he slid somebody in there. That could be a counterfeit, that can be a whatever, this, that, and the third. But because you were at your lowest, I feel like this is for one of my brothers. I can feel it heavy. And I think I know which one too. If my text go off, then I'm on point. So the enemy slipped something in while you were at your most vulnerable point. If you're honest, you know there was a little something like, but she was fine. She was thick. And in all honesty, if the conviction had been very, very loud, you wouldn't have cared. Because that's how broken you were. So you just needed anything to soothe that pain. So that conviction wasn't as loud as it should have been because your spirit was not as filled as it should have been. And so as time goes on, what happens? You develop feelings, soul ties, all that things. Once feelings get involved, it's just a whole nother level of drama, right? Because now the emotions are involved. But something still isn't right. You're getting woken up in your sleep. God won't let your spirit be at peace. It's this little something. It's this little something that you cannot get clarity and peace in your spirit. God is disturbing your spirit over and over and over again. Truth is, you don't even have all the facts physically. Whatever you think they're doing, cheating, stealing, lying, manipulating, whatever it is whatever your complaints are, you don't even have the physical evidence, or you may have some, right? But not enough. You don't have all the facts in the physical realm, tangible things to back it. And that's what they're using against you, because it's like, where's the evidence? The evidence is in your spirit. But see, everybody want a chosen person until they realize we're not surface level. We don't even deal with surface level people, but you've encountered one. And now you're debating with a surface level person, right? That can't receive what you're saying spiritually. Or they can receive it, but they're manipulating the words in the situation so bad that at some point you were questioning it. Am I overthinking? Is it me? Is it them? Am I crazy? Your spirit don't lie. Now, let's be clear. As adults here, you have to be sure that that's not trauma responses. For example, you could have gotten out of a bad marriage, bad relationship, right? And you experienced some cheating and all that stuff. So you got to be sure that's not your flesh and you accusing somebody because of your own insecurities. This is why it's important to heal after the fact before you jump into something else. So we're not speaking about that, right? You know that it's not your own insecurities. You know that it's not trauma responses. Your spirit won't settle. You're not paranoid. It's not trauma triggers and trauma responses, but your spirit will not settle. How are you now questioning if your spirit is lying to you, if your spirit is confusing you, when before this, you were so spiritually elevated that no one, I mean absolutely no one, could tell you anything or speak against anything that you felt in your spirit? Before your last attack, you were so spiritually on fire and so spiritually inclined that if God gave you some type of download and someone said to you, oh no, that couldn't be God, you would go to bats with that person because you know that you know that you know what you felt in your spirit. Now, all of a sudden, you took a fall, spiritually depleted. The enemy sent somebody in there, let it be a counterfeit or whatever, sent somebody in there, something in there, whatever the case may be. And now that you're coming back up because God is pulling you from a situation that some people are still clinging on like a wildcat. Some people have gotten a revelation now that God is really severing that thing and they're being obedient and they're moving with it. Some people are still entangled, right? But the point that I'm making is if you were that assured about how you hear and that you know what you felt in your spirit before the attack, why are you questioning it now? Why are you questioning it now? You've asked God 1,000 times. God, is she the one? Did you send her? Did you send him? And maybe he answered you. Maybe he sent somebody to confirm and say, yeah or nay, whatever. Maybe you overlook his answer. So he won't let your spirit rest. You can't even sleep. Before, if you got woken up 3 o'clock in the morning, it was some dream that, God was trying to give you a certain download about something that you're in alignment with your purpose and your calling, or now you're getting woke up about feelings that somebody's cheating. Somebody's lying about their whereabouts. Somebody's not right with you for the right reasons. Why is God waking you up? You asked him for a sign, right? See, we think when we ask God for a sign, like it's going to come one way. Like God's going to knock on your front door. Nope, she ain't the one. No. He's going to disturb your spirit. He's going to wake you up. And he's going to put that pressure on you until he knows that you know, all caps, know that they're lying. Again, it doesn't matter what they're verbalizing. Chosen one, you're slipping. You know we don't go on words. We never went on words. We can look at you in your face. You can be having a whole conversation with the chosen ones, rambling your mouth about this. We see right through you. Even if we never say it, we see right through. Do you know how many people on my channel don't like me and be up and we see right through you. And we're not going to always call you out. We sit back and we allow God to unfold that thing. Because it will unfold. God will start giving bits and pieces. He'll start convicting your spirit. It'll get louder and louder, louder and louder, louder and louder. And this is your key, but it's time to bounce. But the thing is, when it's time to bounce, nobody, absolutely nobody, wants to ever lose a chosen one. Because if we're in your life, if we're in your life as a chosen one, oh, honey, you meet Jesus first before you meet another. So now, everybody want to play catch up. Well, I prove this, I prove that. You can't prove anything until my spirit is settled. Your words, your printouts, or whatever you got, ma'am, sir, that can't settle my spirit. God have to settle my spirit. You're coming home with documents that somebody already doctored up for you at, at copyright, right? Trying to prove something. But God is waking me up 3 o'clock in the morning. Make it make sense. So I'm supposed to believe you're Kissy. So I'm supposed to believe your documents, right? Or from one of my brothers right now. I'm supposed to believe that you've really been out with your girl. Somebody just got hit. You didn't answer your phone all night. Any other time you called me to tell me good night. Oh, but you fell asleep. You've been out with your girl. Okay. Maybe she was. What does your spirit say? Not your trauma triggers. What does your spirit say? It could be 4 months have already passed, but you can't shake that one night. Time have already passed. Y'all talked about it. Y'all spoke about it. She told you, I can prove it because call my best friend, she'll tell you. But your spirit isn't settled. You said you was home all night. It's 24 hours in the day. At the end of the day, you can't watch anybody. That's not even your job. But you're believing lies because somebody called you and told you good night that they were home. Because they text you and said, I'm at home, good night. So maybe they were. What does your spirit say? So that same night they text you and said, I'm home. You're tossing and turning all night long. You're trying to sleep. And the other night you're snoring. You're tossing and turning all night long. If you're very, 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 very spiritually sensitive, God will actually allow you to feel the physical of what's going on. But you're calling them the next morning. Hey, where were you last night? What did God tell you last night in your dreams? Why he wake you up? What did he tell you? Why he disturb your spirit? Why you can't go back to sleep? Tossing and turning like a monkey. Why can't why can't you go back to sleep? And you're calling them asking like they're going to tell you the truth. Oh, I was home. I wasn't doing anything. So why I can't sleep? This show ain't no trauma triggers at 3 o'clock in the morning. How's this triggers? And I'm not even thinking. Chosen one, you're slipping, baby. You're slipping. Take it to God. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.